Here.
Here.
Present.
Yep, I can hear you. Hi. All right.
I would like to move to reinstate the incumbent chair, Mr. Marcus Magdaleno, and we'd love to have his leadership.
Oh, so sweet.
I second that. Good job, Marcus.
I'll third that.
Aye.
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 I would like to move to have John Dixon retain his vice chair role.
Marcus Magdaleno will second.
Aye.
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 Moving on to item 5, Planning and Building Services. 5A, adoption of resolution of the Mendocino County Lodging Business Improvement District Advisory Board finding that state or local officials continue to recommend measures to promote social distancing in connection with public meetings. Is there any action or discussion regarding that item? I guess, is there an action that we have to adopt this resolution? I guess every. I see. All right, I'll make a motion to adopt this resolution. Good to know. I would like to entertain, if anyone would like to entertain a motion to adopt this resolution, please speak.
I so moved. I'll move to adopt the resolution.
Seconded.
All right, is there any discussion regarding this resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Yes, just a question to staff. Is there anything here that needs to be highlighted or that's different from anything from before?
Okay, and this just to clarify, this is to allow us to continue to meet via Zoom versus the. Okay. Great. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, moving on to 5B, distribution of bylaws. Why is this a agenda item? Forgive me. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Standard procedure. And there has been no changes to the bylaws from the previous year, correct? Great. And this needs to be a motion? Okay, wonderful. Every board member received their bylaws or have access to the existing bylaws?
I have access.
Great. Great. Wonderful. All right. Moving on to 5C, distribution of prior year reports. Does every board member have access to or copy of the previous year? Is there any board member that does not have any report from the previous year access to for reference? Hearing none, presume that everybody has access to and can reference that, and it has been distributed. Moving on to 6, Mendocino County Lodging Business Improvement District bid annual report. 6A, discussion and possible action to establish the advisory board's meeting calendar for the fiscal year. Is that a typo? For the fiscal year. Oh, that's right. To work on the annual report for the 22-23 year. Got it. Okay, great. So let's talk dates. Right. Right. Seeing as this report should be submitted to the Board of Supervisors by 90 days prior to the start of fiscal year, that gives us a very short window right now. My suggestion is that we try to, it looks like Mondays worked for the counties, or for the county. So what if we did Monday the 31st, followed by Monday the 14th, followed by Monday, February 28th. I know Monday the 14th is Valentine's Day. Hopefully that's not too much of a conflict, but would that work for the county if we tried to do that? Great. Board members, oh, Travis?
VMC staff is all going to be at a conference starting on the 14th, so that Monday is out for us.
Okay. Is that conference week long, Travis, or just that day?
We return on Thursday.
Okay.
I can do Friday.
Friday. What about Friday the 18th, you said? So a meeting on the 7th and then a meeting again on the 11th? Will we have had enough time in between? Oh, wait, we won't have the 7th. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Okay, so we're looking at next Monday, the 31st, and then possibly February 11th, Friday, February 11th. Then the 21st of February. Wait, yeah. No. Well, just trying to space them out nicely. How would that play out then? If we did the 21st, then maybe
the 21st is a holiday.
Oh, it is? Okay. Well, I'm okay with that possibility. Otherwise, we go for the 28th, but that is, that's only a little over 2 weeks between meetings. So depending on, that gives Travis plenty of time to work on things if we make a lot of changes by the 11th. So that gives us, I don't know, I'd suggest that maybe the 31st, then the 11th, and then the 28th, because maybe by the next 2 meetings, the 31st and the 11th, we'll have made enough significant movement on this that allows Travis plenty of time to continue to work on it. And then the 28th, we gather again, and then that gives us a little bit more flexibility in March if we need to continue to work on it. I don't foresee this, I don't foresee that this, there will be as much in-depth work that we've had to do in the past. We have a lot of returning board members, and Travis has done thorough work so far with being prepared with the report. So we want to set those dates for the end of this month and for February, and then wait to see what March brings. What does the board think?
What would the time be? Is it 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
I am on those Mondays. I have a prior commitment Zoom meeting that starts at 3, so I'd have to bow out by 3 o'clock.
John, any questions or conflicts you want to, if we did that? So once again, next Monday, the 31st, then Friday, February 11th, then Friday, February 28th. Monday, February 28th. Sorry.
Well, I don't have any conflicts. Those are all okay with me. Hearing Cindy's comment about not being able to be on that Monday, the 28th, I would almost go for the 23rd, I think was mentioned, the Wednesday. Although Travis is just back from that conference on Friday, I guess, the week before is why we're missing the 14th. I mean, I'd like to move it along, I guess. And also we are late, March is when we want to be done. I do agree that it seems like we'll be quicker this time. Some of what slows things down is, as you say, who are new to the group, but also I think we have a good working process. When we talked about edits, we're doing that in Word, I think, and then doing the formatting later. And so we hopefully don't get bogged down on formatting and stuff like that. But content-wise, I feel like we could probably move pretty quickly. So I would vote for the 23rd, and then Cindy can be here for the whole time if that works for Travis. And then 28th, I guess. I have no conflict there. Tell me though again, in March, what was the date that we need to be done by for it to be submitted?
So Adrian, you're going to try to get us on, so you don't think you can get us on the agenda in April for the Board of Supervisors meeting? You're thinking May? Wow, and they don't make exceptions due to the fact that their law requires 90 days now. Okay. So our bad, I guess, on if we had had a meeting in December, we could have snuck ourselves in there on an April date. Okay. All right, well, let's definitely try to get ourselves on the earliest meeting that we can for the Board of Supervisors and then work towards that date. And then usually we try to have it finalized and allow our related boards to look over and review it for any input from them. We usually try to do that for the related boards March meetings. Is that right, Travis or Adrian? I guess when I say related boards, I just mean, yeah. So when's the MCTC March meeting, Travis?
Second Thursday of March.
March 10th?
Yep.
Yeah. But seeing as we're not going to be able to present this to the Board of Supervisors, we could have them review it in April as well. But let's shoot for having it finalized and potentially reviewed by somewhat finalized, mostly finalized, and reviewed by the MCTC board for their chance to provide input. So let's shoot for having it by the 10th. So I'm definitely okay with John Dixon's suggestion of doing Wednesday, February 23rd instead of the 28th. So
I'm out of town on that day in Seattle, but you'd probably still have a quorum without me if I'm the only one missing.
Forgive me, which date are we looking at? Tuesday, you say Tuesday, March 1st or March 8th? Tuesday, March 8th.
I'm okay with that date. Okay with that. The March 8th date, I could do that.
That works for me, I think, as well. John Glidewell, any conflicts for any of the dates we've been discussing?
No, I'll speak up though if I see any problems. Everything's good.
Okay, so let's see. Let's do next Monday, January 31st. Friday, February 11th. Wednesday, February 23rd. And Tuesday, March 8th.
I guess
John Dixon?
I thought we would still do it's a long time between the 23rd and the 8th. And if we're just looking to finalize at that point, we may not need it. I know it was an extra.
You want to put the 28th in?
Maybe let's just do that. That's what I was thinking originally, actually. And
Okay.
what we don't know is how many days we need. I mean, it'd be fun to fast track this and get it done. Number one. Number two, we don't know how many days. We might not even need the 28th or the 8th. Maybe wishful thinking, I don't know. But maybe let's put 28th in and the 8th in case.
So the Tuesday the 1st or Wednesday the 2nd are the best options. Board members, any preference?
I can't do the 1st.
Okay.
Committee day.
Okay, so let's schedule the February 23rd, March 2nd, and March 8th. And we'll schedule those, and if we're moving along, we're doing great work, we can always cancel one, but better to have it scheduled in case we need it. Do those dates work for everybody? Board members?
Everything
Yes.
works for me, but the 8th, but we might not even need that one. So looks good to me.
Okay, great. Travis, all dates work for you?
Yep.
Great, and county staff?
Please, can we run them down again?
Yes. So we're looking at Monday, January 31st. Friday, February 11th. Wednesday, February 23rd. Wednesday, March 2nd. And Tuesday, March 8th.
Forgive me, did we say not the 28th then? That's why. Okay, I got you. That's the one that didn't have 72.
Too close of a window, yeah, to post.
23rd to the March 2nd, and then the 8th. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, almost every week. All right, those dates work? Great.
Good.
All righty, let's see, moving along to item 6B. Discussion and direction concerning the preparation of the annual report for the fiscal year 2022-23. So this is where we look at the report submitted thus far by Travis Scott and staff. Let's see. In the past, I think we've just kind of gone through the report. And as we go through it, if there's any questions or comments, we address them. Do we want to continue with that same structure? Hearing no objection, I presume that is the case. And Travis, if we happen to skip, or if we happen to move over anything that is kind of relatively new or recently added, feel free to jump in and.
So why don't I share my screen with you guys so you can see where we're at as of today. As of today, the entire report, other than the recommendations, is complete for your review. And of course, happy to take suggestions, but all of the graphics are done. or the tables and information. I've received our info back from Destination Marketing International, so we've got that. So really, we are on to the recommendations, going over last year's responses and new recommendations.
Great. Travis, I have a question on page 8 of 39. The tourism, let's see, I think it's second sentence. The tourism rebound quickly became apparent, not only to tourism-facing business, but the community at large, and a need for in-county partnerships and programs became apparent to manage the number of visitors and their waste. Am I reading that right? We're talking about restrooms?
All types of waste, every trash, you know.
Okay. I was unaware that that was one of the,
It was a huge issue on the coast.
Oh, great. Okay, good. I'm glad that's being addressed. I didn't realize that was. So I just wanted to clarify that. Great. Let's see, page 11 of 39.
1 second, I'm marking something for myself to fix. Sorry, what was the page number?
11 of 39. Item C, accomplishments for the fiscal year 2021.
B, C, okay.
Oh, I guess it's a 10 on yours, huh? Interesting. Just as noted above, forgive me, but where is it noted above?
In the TOT chart. Where is it? Sorry. Oh no, it's in my in this section. I believe is where I went over the numbers. Right here. The sharp increase.
On page 5.
And most of the language is carried over from previous reports. As we always do, it's just updated information.
Right. Pretty boilerplate at this point.
Yep.
Ah, got it. Okay, thank you. I just had trouble finding that. Thank you. Oh, question on page 12. I think you just passed it, actually. Go back up. A little further up. Hey, you know how we're benchmarks against organizations of comparable size?
Yes.
Do we, I was just curious as to like, what organizations of comparable size is it? I mean, when the DMI, is it? Do we know which counties, which organizations we're being compared to?
No.
No. Okay. So that we trust that they're
the international organization. So I would imagine that we put our trust in them like we do Dean Running Report or anything else.
Understanding our structure and how it's unique. They find comparable structures as well. Okay. I was just curious if they happen to list.
They do lump us into revenue categories.
Mm-hmm.
So we are against other DMOs in our same revenue category.
Okay, so they just base it just on revenue. They don't take any other factors into consideration. You know, whether I guess a DMO is outsourcing most of their to a third party, a lot of their work, or doing it in-house payroll, that kind of thing.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Answers that question.
Looks like John Glidewell's had his hand up.
Oh, I can't see. Oh, there we go. John Glidewell, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. I'm lost. I'm sorry. I know that you're referencing the report, the 22-23 report. Was this something that was sent out that I could reference, or Marcus, did you have a chance to review this beforehand, or?
I don't have a copy of it either, John. I have the same question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks like, was this only sent to me? Oh, shoot.
Stand by.
No problem.
It was an email I got from Travis. Where's my email sending?
I thought I missed something, so I've been searching for it on the county website as you're talking.
Oh, I'm sorry about board members. I should have asked to make sure everybody has a report or reference, but
no worries. No, I was referencing the completed report from last year, but my page numbers weren't matching up to your comments, and I was thinking, I think we're looking at two different things.
Travis, I am looking at what was emailed out on the 10th. Is that what I should be looking at?
I'm just going to send everybody an updated copy right now.
Thanks, Travis.
Adrian, I'm copying you on it too. Oops. Hold on, I gotta blind copy everybody. There you go.
So I guess the board members have not had a chance to preview this or review it before this meeting. I'm going to go ahead and just address some of the questions I had from being able to have reviewed it prior to, and then we can, I imagine some of the board members hopefully have had time to think about potential recommendations, if any, they want to, so we could focus on that, and then conclude with the meeting, and then allow the board members a chance to review the work that Travis has made thus far on the report. And we can review it again in the next meeting. So Travis, page 19-ish.
Okay.
Section 5, under item A, number 8. I was just wondering if you could kind of elaborate on this one for us. Number 8, advocates the county investment and development of sustainable tourism infrastructure. This organization will work hand in hand with the bid advisory board towards identification of infrastructure projects and place those recommendations, yada, yada. I was just,
so that is on our new strategic plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was basically how the strategic plan wrote what we're going to do. We'll work with the bid advisory board to identify projects, infrastructure projects, and propose them to the county through this report.
Okay, had we discussed this before on the board level? Forgive me if we have.
No, this is from Visit Mendocino County's new
strategitic plan. Okay.
Plan.
Gotcha.
So this is the first time that I've written about it in this report because it just went into effect in July.
All right. And just out of curiosity, how do we see this playing out, this working hand in hand timeline?
I mean, I think it's, we identify projects, the MCTC board asks the bid advisory board to vet them and put them in their report if they deem fit.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Simple.
Straightforward. Great. Just wanted some elaboration on that one, so thank you. Great, and it looks like the proposed budget for this wait, am I reading this wrong? Page 21, proposed budget. Is this a review or no, it's not a review. Item D. Okay, the dates are wrong, got it. So it is the proposed budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Looking at a 1.5 million budget, 100 million in, I'm sorry, 1 million in bid and 500,000 in county match. Proposed income, is that right?
So that, yeah.
Great. Sounds.
It's actually much higher than that based on the prior year collections.
Okay.
But the MCTC Board of Directors is not willing to have me write a budget to that high of an amount.
Okay.
They don't think
be conservative.
Yeah, they want to be conservative and make sure that we're budgeting in reality.
Okay, the whole board or just the chair of the board felt that?
The finance committee has directed me to that.
Okay, great. Is Kelly Dim still chair of the MCTC?
No, Scott Connolly has taken the chair position and Callie is the vice chair.
All right, right on. Great. You know, as always, I support being conservative, and you all evaluate the budget as you go through the year, and if it looks like it's going to be different, you adjust, right?
Yes, boy, do we. This year we did big time.
And I always forget, is the potential 3% fee that the county, is that budget as an expense or?
It is budgeted as an expense at the top of the budget.
Usually as a negative number in the income category though, right?
Correct.
Okay. So potentially 30 grand this year, this coming. Yeah, okay.
And it also, yeah, potentially, yes, up to 3.
Great. And then the dates down below as well need to change. Proposed budget for fiscal year. Right there below it.
I've changed those. Right here. That's changed.
The next section down.
That's changed. That's correct.
And then the numbers in the graph are all last year's numbers, right?
That, yes, this is the only thing that has not been updated because the board has not, the finance committee and the board has not seen a budget yet. Okay.
So it'd be premature to go ahead and enter the income section of this as we do know what the income proposal is going to be, or do you just want to wait?
This is a one graph. I'm not going to update it till it's all ready.
All right, fine with me. Okay, so let's see. Let's move on to the recommendations. We can, if the board feels the need to, review the recommendations from the past and quickly review them and go through them and get updates as to their accomplishments. Or we can address that in the next meeting if the board members feel that they can just read through the comments and the updates that we have available in the report that Scott just provided to you, to Travis. Travis just provided to you, sorry.
Lifetime plague.
Yes, that would probably be my suggestion. I think that maybe we go ahead and allow the board members to read through this so we can address any of the previous recommendations or readdress them, I guess, in the next meeting. And we probably should go ahead and I'd like to suggest we go ahead and just discuss future recommendations so Travis can go ahead and start drafting those. Does that sound all right with the rest of the board?
Marcus, you suggested just waiting on reviewing these. We'll do that privately and then come back to our next meeting with comments or questions. Yeah,
I think that'd be most efficient way to go on this. Rather than going through each one and getting updates, I think that we can read through the updates that Travis has listed in these, and then in the next meeting, go over the previous recommendations from the previous years and discuss them. And then I thought that we could just go ahead and discuss the upcoming year's recommendations that this board might want to suggest. So Travis can start drafting those.
Great, and that sounds good to me. My only hesitation is discussing the upcoming recommendations for me may depend on sort of the context of the report, and so I'd probably want to read through and get my head around it one more time before making recommendations for the future report. And that can be done today and next meeting. Right. It doesn't necessarily just mean that we have to do it all today, but I'd like to get my head around it a little bit more first as well.
Definitely. Yeah. And in suggesting possibly some of the new recommendations we want to suggest, it might address some of the old recommendations, but we will have a chance to continue suggesting and editing recommendations in our future meetings. So, I mean, for me, really the main recommendation I want to reiterate is the request for the change in the makeup of the MCTC board, I guess. That seems more than anything else the hot topic for me that I want to re-recommend, I guess, because it has already been recommended. And I do want to make potentially I want to suggest one potential change to it. If Travis, you could go down to, I guess, recommendation, page 28-ish, recommendations actionable by the County of Mendocino from 2021-22 fiscal year. Oh, we did put and or. Oh, okay. Was there any kind of forward movement since last since this report has been submitted to the Board of Supervisors? Mm-hmm. So the process was we were just waiting. The process was we were waiting for the Board of Supervisors to recognize it and take some action on it, or was county staff and FCTC staff actively pushing to make this change on the county level? Or to make sure. Sorry, am I making sense? That makes sense. So we could make this more effective and efficient if we had county council present in our meetings. You said so we could present a recommendation that would.
What she's saying is there isn't county council staff available to help with this.
Okay.
They're short-staffed, incredibly, as all the departments of the county are, and so that's part of the holdup.
Okay. Okay. Is there any suggestions of other possible routes or anything that we might be able to do differently to make this move along faster? Okay. Hire outside county counsel to do the legwork and then present it to the board as a package ready to go? Okay. Okay. Well, just out of curiosity, Travis, wasn't the one of the large lodging seats on the board did not have any applicants or anybody submit themselves as a nominee?
That is correct.
So is it sitting empty, or is the previous board member sitting until replaced?
No, that seat is empty, as well as the small lodging seat.
So you have a board of 11, or should be 11. You have a board of 9.
Correct. And we've identified people for those 2 seats. Mm-hmm. Now we're waiting for the treasurer tax collector to host another election. And so, you know,
okay.
This has thrown her year off as well.
Okay. Any other board members want to discuss any previous recommendations or new ones recommended by actionable by either the MCTC board, BMC, or the county?
Yeah, I have a thought. At some point, I'd like to hear from Travis if he has a wish list that would be appropriate for this board to consider, including in the upcoming report, especially with you know, the different type of funds that we've seen in the most recent fiscal year, and just wondering how this board can be most effective in looking at the future of, you know, promoting the county. And maybe there's some opportunities that we haven't considered that Travis has really thought about. I'd just love to hear if you have a sort of a top priority list that I can write down and think about while I'm reading through this report, you know, over the next week or so.
So I've discussed this with my executive committee team members, and the work that we're doing this year, we're doing a lot of big work. We're doing a rebrand. We're doing a new website. We've identified our competitors in the market, but all of our work is really internal, you know, on the board and the MCTC board end. So we do not have, other than the items that are put forward previously, we don't have any new items that we'd like to add to the report as recommendations at this time.
Thank you, Travis.
No, thanks for letting me know. And with that being said, you know, is there anything that you think should be removed from the report that provides a barrier for your progress at VMC?
No, there are things that I think we can let fall off that are going to be addressed as time allows, like the treasurer tax collector, you know, and the ADR and the ADO addition to the forms. She knows that it's a recommendation. It has been. We know it's going to happen. It's just getting their computer system in order so that we can do that. They've had some issues in, I'm not exactly sure if it's the software or the implementation, but she isn't ready to do that yet. But it's there. We're going to do it.
I would like to say there's a recommendation about creating a committee to explore all other ways to produce revenue. I think that's an example of one we don't need to re-recommend. Like as you say, Travis, just fall off until the appropriate time that might be necessary to address again.
Right.
Really, go ahead, Travis.
Oh, I was going to say, I think the executive committee just felt like trying to go down that path in pandemic times just isn't really appropriate.
Right.
So,
Travis, just out of curiosity, or I guess out of for Adrian too, what protections do we have that the 50% match will continue? Is it something that the Board of Supervisors could decide to stop continuing if things really got tight? Is it something that is part of the law and cannot be removed at this point, or is it something that can change every year?
To my knowledge, it's, and I'd have to pull the ordinance and look at it, but I believe it's in the ordinance.
So the whole ordinance would have.
And shaking her head, yes. So that, yeah.
Okay. So it'd have to be a whole new ordinance adopted in order for that to stop happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Or updated version.
Just didn't realize what security we had, or on that continuing. Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel that the 1% is a good amount, the match is a good amount, and that's the main way to produce revenue for marketing of the county. And yes, in the future, there might be other ways to explore, but even if there were, they'd probably be very minor. So I don't feel that that's strong.
And we did go down the private campground path and hit a roadblock that we're working through, which is noted in the status update here. So
great. All right, yeah, and I mean, I'm feeling very strongly that one recommendation I want to continue forward is that of changing the ordinance to allow for either a general, a higher up staff to be on the board, or to change one of the lodging seats to an at-large lodging. So that's my real only strong feeling of putting a recommendation forth. And I think it's a good indication, though, that if we don't have a whole lot of recommendations, that means I think the operation is running well and not in need of current change that much. And so I think that's a good indication that we don't have a lot of recs. But Cindy or John Dixon, any input on recommendations, previous or future?
I mean, not at this time. I want to read through it. And I was happy to hear from Travis and John. Glad John asked the question. I had the same. If anything's coming out of the organization that we need to consider, and but no, short answer, no, not at this time.
Okay. Cindy?
Nothing at this time. I'm gonna take the time in between meetings to read through this, maybe do some comparison things, and nothing at this moment. And yeah, the information already been given from Travis. I had a similar thought of, Travis, what is your wish list? So looks like your wishes have been granted, Travis.
Thank you guys so much for offering. I really appreciate that. I wish we had something that was like world changing to put forward, but things are kind of on a really good track, and we're seeing really great results. And so yeah, we're moving forward with some of our visitor facing projects. So
beautiful.
Great. And Travis, of course, always feel like if there is something you would like us to consider, recommend, always feel that you can present it.
Sure. Absolutely. Thank you.
Seconded.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add what Marcus said. It seems like things are going well, and I would just ask this group, to really consider. Not that we do. I like working with this group, but I would avoid inventing problems to add into the report so that they can be solved. I think we're in a real great rhythm with this group, and if there's an opportunity for us to make an impact, then by all means, let's consider it. But I don't know that we need to create work for work's sake, and I would just want to make sure that we're using our time effectively. So.
Yes, well said, John, and using Travis's time effectively too. I think maybe one of the things on his wish list is to make sure this process stays streamlined and thorough, but streamlined and as efficient as possible. So he can get it done and continue to do his main job of marketing the county for us. So to that end, I guess too, if there's nothing further we discussed about recommendations, I think we might be coming to an end for the meeting. Is there any further discussion on item 6B of the agenda?
I have a question I'd like to ask. We have in here, I still have the 2021 recommendations and their status updates. I didn't know how long we thought, or this group thought, they wanted to leave recommendations in the report before, kind of filing them as done or removing that section from the previous, the report back from the previous report. I just wanted to check and get a feel on that from you guys, because these from 2021 would be 2 years old now. So my thought is that they should probably just go away like they would generally do. But I know that last year there was lots of conversation about history and keeping things as appendixes and et cetera. So I just wanted to see what the gauge on that was.
Yeah, perhaps we can make it a somewhat of a rule of like, maybe we look back to as far as 2 years at our recommendations. You know, they do exist in the previous reports. So even if we remove them from the future report, we could always open up last year's report to see what they were. I think any ones that are accomplished, we can remove and not relist.
Great. So when you guys are reading through and making your notes for this next meeting, why don't you let me know which ones, if there are any that you'd like to keep. Oh, did we?
Yeah, that sounds good. It looks like Marcus may have frozen.
Okay. Like, I was thinking, he's really got an itch in his eye.
He's thinking so hard about your comment. I love it. And this could be overkill, but do we ever talk about creating an appendix item that would house relevant, recommendations, maybe historical recommendations for us to review, or is that just, you think it's overkill? I'm neither either direction on that, John. Okay.
But there was a lot of talk about it last year, so I wanted to bring it up again this year. And I did file the forward from me in last year's report about COVID and all of that as an appendix. So that is here because you did ask for that.
I really like that a lot, that you've added that as an appendix. Yeah, and I wonder, how far we would want to take adding the historical perspective to the back end of this document. Like you said, if it's, I'll consider it as I read. I'm just wondering if, I can't remember if this board discussed it last year, of trying to retain as much of those historical recommendations, for posterity. We would create that appendix and just kind of house all of these, dead recommendations so that they could sort of inform future insights. I don't know if that's really a very productive use of an appendix, but part of me just hates seeing things fall off that never really got addressed, and maybe they will die forever, but maybe they did have some potential value, and so that's the only other concern I had, was whether or not we wanted to recommend an appendix at the end of the document to house those.
Well, I think if they're items that are still in process, they remain in the report. I think if there's something that's majorly groundbreaking for history here, then it could be added to an appendix. But for the most part, they're housed in the previous year report.
Definitely. And to John's comment,
yeah,
why don't we could also make a section of in the report that's recommendations that were never addressed. That was a joke. Sorry, I fell off. I don't know if was it just me? The whole meeting didn't end for everybody, huh? I guess I had an internet interruption. Sorry about that.
No worries.
No, that's no problem. Yeah, that was the long and short of our conversation, so you didn't miss anything.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's keep it on the report if it's relevant, and continuing. I would, like John said, I'd hate for it to just fall off, something that was never addressed to just fall off and come up, fall off our radar. But then again, yeah, if we look back at a previous report, we'll see it. So, yeah, and I don't necessarily love big long appendixes as well. So, did we give you enough input, Travis, to?
Yeah, and then my request was that, if there's anything that you want to stay while you're reading the report between now and the next meeting, please make notes and let me know.
Yeah, okay, great. All right, any other discussion on agenda item 6B? Okay, hearing none, moving on to the next agenda item, sorry, I'm having trouble going from full screen. Exit the screen, back to my agenda. Number 7, any communications communications received or filed? Okay, any matters from the public? Wonderful. Agenda item 9, any matters from the advisory board? Okay, hearing none. I'll need a just looking for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Great, and our next meeting will be next Monday, 1 o'clock, the 31st. I'll need a second, second to adjourn, or do we need a second to adjourn? Yes.
Yes, I seconded if we need it.
Great.
Can we talk a little bit what we want to accomplish next week? Could you just remind us what our homework is? I mean, I know we've discussed it, but it's looking at recommendations. I get it, but we need to look at the whole thing, look at Travis's markups. We have the most recent, which is what we're going to work from, I guess, and then come up with any recommendations, keeping in mind we don't want to do make work type ones, and then look at ones that might drop off. Is that our homework before Monday? I just want to be real clear.
You pretty much summed it up. Yep. Yep.
Okay,
all right.
Thanks.
Great. Okay, then this meeting is adjourned. We'll see you all next Monday.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yay. Bye everyone.
Thanks. Bye.